Welcome back, everyone. Now I'd like to introduce you to the Dragon Exercise, a meditation simply designed to help you get an imaginal sense of how you are in relationship to the challenges in your life. This fits well in the fire section, in the middle of the fire, when we take on this inspiration to create in the world, to be in the world, and we find ourselves with the world all around us, having to deal with all of the good, the bad, the ugly of our lives, of life itself, of other people, of challenges in the environment on all levels. So for this exercise, I'd like you to focus on one challenge in your life at this moment, and choose maybe the most relevant, which I would say is the first thing that comes to mind. So first, I simply want you to tune into the challenge that you're facing. Notice how it first appears. Does it appear as an image of an experience, whether it's something from the past or the present or the future? Does this challenge take the form of thoughts, ideas, notions? Is it of a relationship, a dynamic between you and another or others? Is this challenge about the earth realm, which is all about organization in your life, getting it together, rooting, grounding, connecting, seeding new ways, about seeing the details in your life? Or is the challenge an emotional one, an inner psychic one, or even a spiritual one, a challenge of seeing the big picture, or seeing what exactly is around you in your world? Or even a challenge of dealing with the rituals in your life, what you put your faith in on a daily level, on a daily basis, the unconscious rituals. Whatever it is for you, just take it in, and maybe you can hold it as almost like a hologram, a holodeck, Look all around you and see that part of your challenging life up and running in this moment. Feel what it feels like in your body to be facing this challenge, where the charge is maybe in your body. It may look lit up like fire or darkness. Notice any emotional charge that's there. Any thoughts? And just be with it for a moment. Tune in, turn it up. Really allow yourself to be in this problem now. It's so easy, isn't it? Breathe it in and breathe it out. Notice your breath, your heartbeat. And now in the midst of this field, I'd like you to imagine before you a dragon. Imagine just floating in front of you, maybe, or sitting on your desk or your floor. a dragon. Notice how it appears if you were to say. Now again, if you have a hard time imagining, that's okay. You don't have to imagine anything. But if you were to imagine a dragon, I wonder what type of dragon that would be. What do you imagine it would look like? Think it would be? A tall dragon? A short, fat dragon? Any old dragon will do. And now I want you to imagine that dragon taking on all of the challenge that you're facing in your life. See it all flush into the dragon. Out of your body, out of the environment. Just let the dragon hold it all. Like magic. And you can come back into the light, come back into that torus of light from heaven and earth. Universe swirling in the belly, the chest, the third eye, the crystal palace. Back in harmony, whoosh. Heaven and earth in harmony. Your higher nature connected to your consciousness and your lower nature, all in harmony in the heart as one consciousness. And from this place, I'd like you to look at the dragon that's emanating out, containing the challenge you're facing in your life. Notice that to be true. You might notice energetic spikes in it or shifts in it because of the charge that it's taking on. Whether it's an emotional or mental or environmental or physical charge. The dragon is morphing into it now, shape-shifting. And it feels good to have it out of the body, right? Out of the environment, and just right there in front of you. Now, if it feels like too much, you can imagine a mirror between you and the dragon. Like it's a two-way mirror and you're standing behind it, looking through it. So whatever energy splashes off of the dragon will simply be reflected back and not into you. And this is a great technique to offer a bit of dissociation, a bit of distance from what it is we're viewing, so we don't get triggered. Because our job is to stay in harmony and witness what this looks like from an external view. Of course, when these challenges are live and within us and charging us, our consciousness is also shape-shifting into that. So it's very hard to change this in front of you if it is inside of you as you. Like Einstein said, the mind that caused the problem is not the mind that'll solve the problem. So now we've put the challenge in the dragon, and there it is. And we're in a good space, connected, rooted, in harmony. Just like that. The power of the imagination. Now, I want you to imagine we're going to put 6 figures around the dragon, 6 characters, or we call them archetypes. And these 6 archetypes represent different ways of relating to the dragon. You can think of it as different ways of relating to your challenge. And this is a wonderful way to look at to instantly get a sense of where you are dialed onto the dragon, the challenge in your life. The first one is the orphan. The orphan lives in fear of the dragon. The orphan feels all on their own to deal with this dragon, feeling dispossessed of support, maybe. But always lives in fear of what that dragon, that challenge in their life can do to them. Notice how the orphan appears for you. If you were to imagine an orphan standing next to a dragon, fearing it, how would it stand there? Would it move? Would it be... Look at its posture, the way it moves, its facial expression, their emotional state, what they're thinking maybe, their energy. It all comes just like that. So there's the orphan, and look at the way the dragon, knowing that this orphan is fearing it, how the dragon looms over the orphan. There's a relationship there between the two, a dance. Does that seem like a familiar dynamic for you? In this time of your life, maybe. The next one is the innocent. The innocent, standing next to the dragon, has no idea, maybe, what this dragon could do to it. You might say it's naive. Or maybe it's just in beginner's mind of letting the dragon be what it is, without imposing fear. But the innocent stands next to the dragon as if it's not a problem. Have you ever had a time in your life where there were big problems in the world around you, maybe as a kid, and you were able to let it go, to not even register it? That's the innocent. Notice how the two dance. Is the dragon a bit confused by the naive innocent? There's a different relationship, a different dance between the innocent and the orphan, right? Now the next one is the martyr. Imagine a martyr standing next to your dragon, next to the innocent, next to the orphan. Now, the martyr isn't fearing what that dragon can do in the future, or isn't pretending there's no dragon there. The martyr is, in this very moment, experiencing victimization by the dragon. In its positive value, it's that part of us that can handle tough times. In its shadow side, it's that part of us that can feel victimized, abused. Notice how your martyr appears before the dragon, what form it takes. Its posture, its way of relating to the dragon, the dance between the martyr and the dragon. It's a very powerful dynamic. Now the next one, next to the martyr, is the wanderer. The wanderer sees the dragon, but rather than engage the dragon, or allowing the dragon to engage it, the wanderer rather, walks away. The wanderer is that part of ourselves that, in its positive sense, knows when to leave a bad thing behind, when to cut bait, when to move on, to let go, to seek out better options, a better way. The shadow side, of course, of the wanderer is that part of us that checks out, that dissociates, that abandons relationships when they become too tough, maybe. Or that maybe in a shadow sense avoids challenges and therefore not allowing for the opportunity of mastery, of growth, of evolution. Notice the dance between the wanderer and the dragon, if there is one. The fifth archetype is the archetype of the warrior. I would like you to imagine a warrior standing next to the dragon now. Notice how your warrior appears. Is it like the archetypal St. George slaying the dragon beneath the horse? Or are they fighting the dragon with their bare hands, or with their voice, or with their will? Notice the posture of the warrior, the way they engage the dragon in battle, and the way the battle draws the dragon in. The dance between the two. Just playfully allow that visual to appear. The warrior sees this as a fight to the death, maybe. The shadow side of the warrior, of course, is when we are combative, when we see everything as a fight, when we approach all of our challenges in a combative way. The positive side, of course, is we know how to take care of ourselves in a challenging situation, that we can fight when needed. The next and final archetype we'll look at today is the shaman, the sorcerer, or the Merlin-like magician, the sorceress. There's all sorts of archetypes around this character. Now, the shaman sees this experience with this dragon, this relationship, as a divine appointment, opportunity to work their magic, to transform this challenge, this dragon, into an ally, into some medicine. One of the hallmarks of the shamanic path is being willing and able to take on the poisons of life, the challenges, and transform them into some form of medicine, of wisdom, insight, of ability. So you can see how the shaman, the sorceress, is taking on the dragon, transforming it, and watching how the dragon transforms into an ally of the shaman. The great part of this is that the shaman sees this as not a reason to fight the dragon, or to run away from it, or to be a victim of it, or to fear it, or even to pretend it doesn't exist, but a great opportunity to take on this dragon as an ally in disguise. Given the right approach, the right medicine, the right magic, this dragon will become a resource, support. Now, as you look at these 6 characters around the dragon, I want you to simply notice which one you've been lately with this challenge in your life. And for now, I'd like you to simply go down into that Go next to that archetype. Experience it up close. And from the heart, witness what it's going through. You know that feeling on all levels. And you could see that dragon, how it relates to you, how it dances with you. And you can even shapeshift into that archetype and again feel what it feels like to have to dance with this dragon in this way. Is it exhausting? Does it create anxiety, worry? Does it make your body tense up, your breath? Does it activate thoughts? And from this place, I simply want you to imagine coming back into harmony with the torus of light, allowing the heavens to bathe over you, the earth to flow up through you like the tree of life. And there we are in the apple core of light, and you can imagine coming back into resonance in the midst of this state. And that part of you that has been dealing with the dragon is now recalibrated, rebooted, and you can imagine now that that part of you is engaging the dragon in a good way. Or maybe also you can rise above the dragon and the archetypes, and you could look at the options of ways of being and choose another that might be better suited for your growth in this life right now. And as you do so, you can go into the space of that archetype, shapeshift into it, bathe in the light, bring it into harmony with heaven and earth, and let it reboot, recalibrate, transform that part of your nature to its highest nature, just like that, playfully. And imagine yourself mastering the dragon from that place. This is a wonderful way to help us to break the fixation of how we habitually deal with the world, the challenges in our lives. By simply offering yourself this little dial of archetypes around the dragon and plop it up on your visual field, on your desktop of your imaginal computer. And whenever you're dealing with a challenge in your life, you can look at it and say, where am I around the dragon of my life right now? This particular dragon. And you can imagine a little light lighting up one of the archetypes. And then you can tune into that and see if it is appropriate, if it's working. If not, you can choose another way. And this imaginal experience will help you gain neuroplasticity. It will allow you to have more options in the midst of these habitual ways of reacting to your world. Just one of many wonderful tools that you'll find in the imaginal, the shamanic practice. Have a great day. See you soon.